Coming up, I talk with a taxi driver, how to properly replace the oil level sensor.
Karate!
Shocking discovery.
Oh no! Oil leak.
And some plastic.
Now it's time to consult a repair manual and panic. Guten Morgen! And welcome to M539 Restorations. This is part 2 of project Skövde. In the previous one, in case you missed it, we traveled to Sweden where we met the owner Michael, his lovely family and his beautiful E39 M5 that's been sitting in his garage for around 9 years. Of course, we bought it. Today it's coming to Frankfurt. I spoke with the truck driver yesterday. He said he's gonna be here around 8. It is currently 8 and 7 minutes, so he should be here any minute now. And anything before 9 o'clock, that's early for me. So I have wake me up potion here and we're good to go. But I'm very excited. Once the car comes in, we're gonna have a closer look. We're gonna put it on the lift, inspect it, change the oil and see what kind of restoration this is going to be. Can't wait. I brought my other E39 M5. That's right, I have 2 now in the same color. Maybe that's too much caffeine. And yet he continues to drink. ¿Dónde estás, amigo? Anyway, let's go on the street and wait for him. Oh, I slipped. Sorry, I'm drinking coffee and carrying camera. Oh, there it is, there it is. ¿Dónde está my M5? Hello, beauty. Delivery day is the best day. I think he's gonna try and unload the car over there. Okay, I think he stopped over there, which is not brilliant. And everything is unlocked in the garage. If the thief comes, there goes everything. My pants are coming down. My phone and my microphone. This is not going well. So Stadtpolizei came by and they said you cannot film over there, nor can you unload a car there, because the car doesn't have a license plate, so I would have to drive it on the street to here. And that's illegal and I can get a fine. So he has to go and flip around and park it here. Don't they have anything better to do? Where's my coffee? Sorry. Oh my God, they're coming again. I have to hide my camera. Hello? All right, they're gone. Starts. Hello, my old friend. There's another truck. Can't see anything over there. Man, the steering wheel is hard. I'm happy to announce that my copy-paste machine is working well. It's a bit expensive to use and you have to travel to Sweden. But it works, it really does. What we have here, ladies and gentlemen, is 2 E39 M5s. This one is September 2000, one of the first facelift E39 M5s, and this one is December 2000, but the first registration is January or February 2001. But man, I cannot believe I own not 1, but 2 E39 M5s. The rain is cramping my style, but we'll soldier on. We're not made of sugar. You can see how the headlights are cloudy. Thinking we're gonna put the M5 badge over there. From the factory, you could delete that, but that one has badges and I kind of like it. But just compare headlights on my car and this. Did I not already mention that both of these cars are slick top? No sunroof. Really rare. Only about 26% of all E39 M5s came without the sunroof. And you get less weight, more headroom and a sleeker look. So I'm loving that. I absolutely do. 3 keys. Right. The business end. S62 power plant. Dare I say it, the best M engine ever built. The most reliable one, the torquey one, the beautiful sounding one. Yesterday I was part of the WhatsApp group and one of these cars actually burned down completely, which is really sad because of these 2 rubber brake lines. When you don't replace those and they're 20 years old and your brake line pops, the hot exhaust manifold is right over there and you have brake fluid landing onto that and everything goes up in smoke, which is really, really, really sad. But we are going to be servicing this car completely. Of course, I'm going to replace those with stainless steel ones. I've done that on my car. First thing I did when I bought it. The lifter tick is still here. Don't want to run it too long, but that tick that you can hear, that's the hydraulic lifters. The car hasn't been driven in forever and the oil is old. So the first thing we're gonna do is change that oil. And we're also going to drop the oil pan, look inside the engine, see if there's anything interesting. Well, we added because Michael told me that the oil drain plug, it's a bit stripped, so we gotta fix that. I went back in time to 2001 and opened my BMW dealership. Just look at this scenery. We have the prettiest 7 Series ever made, E38 750iL, and then the best M car ever made, E39 M5. Just imagine walking into a dealership back in those days, the glory days for BMW. I really wish they still made good looking and good driving cars like this. I'm gonna savor a donut while I stand and look at my two beautiful cars. And I just wanna hug these two cars. Hola! Time to put Project Skövde on the lift. The battery is like 10 years old as well. Cold start. Ugh. Hey, Mambo. Where you going, bro? On bank 1, we have the lifter tick. Up it goes. And don't worry about this. This is a mobile lift. Doesn't need to be bolted down. And I'm not going to bolt it down because this one is leaving and Ben Pack is coming in. Need to polish the exhaust tips. We have a Diff leak. So let the inspection begin. We're gonna start by removing the plastic under covers. The pork chop, aka the lower fender liner, is chopped off, missing. And these are about 250 euros per side. This bumper has been rubbing a lot. And hopefully I can see inside and tell if it's original or not. Oh no! Oil leak. I don't believe that. That's impossible on a BMW. Never. You almost never see them leak oil. This one is not broken. That's good. Well, a little bit. All right. Oh yeah. Keep dropping these on my head. Sweet papaya, that's oily. Look at that. And all of this is coming from the oil drain plug. Let's begin Tour de Sweden. Start off with the tires. As you can see, this one is heavily worn on the inside and the outside, which means the suspension alignment is messed up. The fender liner, that's broken as I mentioned. The bumper is scratched. This one is intact. And that tire is also bad, and my lamp is dead. In front of the engine, the belts are in really, really poor shape. That one even has chunks missing in it. So all of that, including pulleys and tensioners, is going to be replaced. We have an oil leak that's coming from up top, and that looks like a valve cover gasket leak. And then this massive oil leak, don't be scared, it's not that bad. It's just the stripped oil drain plug. Michael told me about it, so now we're gonna drop the oil pan, fix that, and look inside the engine as well, see if we find anything interesting. Other than that, all of the suspension components, all of that looks original, to be honest. Yeah, I don't think that was ever replaced. Let's see. Oh, the thrust arm bushings don't look too bad. That one is slightly starting to crack. But we're gonna overhaul complete suspension on this car, front to back, including struts as well. Every single ball joint, bushing, all of that is going to be renewed. No power steering leaks. That's remarkable. The shocks themselves, oh yeah, that one is leaking. And that one doesn't appear to be leaking, but I know that they're original and I know they're bad. Rotors, really rusty, but no lip. Hopefully they can be cleaned up. No need to throw away good parts. Moving down the line, so no rear main seal leak. Michael told me that the clutch was replaced, I think 20-something thousand kilometers ago. So hopefully they did that then. You can see more leaks coming from the valve cover. You can also see camshaft position sensors, intake and exhaust. And that one has the BMW logo on it, which means it's 100% original and needs to be replaced. And these can cause all sorts of issues, Vanos codes as well, really poor running once they go bad. I actually had on my silver E39 M5 that had only 70,000 kilometers. It had a check engine light. The engine was knocking, banging, running really poor. And all it was that guy over there, camshaft position sensor. So it's really, really smart to replace them as part of preventative maintenance. On this side, you can see a heavy valve cover leak. This thing is unplugged. for whatever reason. No idea what it's for, but it appears to be going here. So let's plug it back in. Don't know what that for is, maybe some temperature sensor or whatever. So far here all looks good. Oh, that's the fuel line, I believe. It's heavily corroded. That needs to be replaced. The filter, that needs to be replaced. That lives there as well. Some surface corrosion on the body here and here. So all of that needs to be cleaned up and treated. But inside here looks good. Flex disc, that looks good. That was likely replaced when they did the clutch. These exhaust hangers and these support bars, this one is bent. So I'm gonna replace both of these because they look rusty. More surface corrosion here as well. And you can definitely tell it's a car from Sweden. We have a lovely leak from the Diff input shaft seal. That's a quite common spot on this differential. So the drive shaft needs to come out, the exhaust dropped, and then this seal replaced. But it also appears to be leaking on the side as well, so those seals need to be done as well. This is looking a bit rusty, so I would like to refurbish that as well. The rear suspension, everything looks original as well. Thinking we're gonna do everything here. The ball joints, they're quite common to go bad. On mine, they did at 160,000 kilometers. You can see this bracket is brand new. This is actually quite common spot for snapping. Oh, actually, look at here. It's completely gone, it's snapped. So that's the bracket for the rear sway bar. They're made of aluminum, and on my car, on the previous E39 M5, they're all just broken. So that needs to be replaced. The calipers, looks quite corroded if I'm being honest. Let's see the front one. Yeah, the front one is looking kind of ugly as well. So we're gonna rebuild calipers, repaint them, same as I did with the Project Karlsruhe. That bushing looks good. Those bushings look excellent. How about the trailing arm bushings? That looks good. No cracks, that's what I'm looking at. Oh, we have a drain plug that's missing here, and that's a bit crusty. Need to take care of that. So what I'm thinking now is drop the exhaust, drop all of the heat shields, and have some body expert come out and just treat the whole body, remove all of the surface rust and protect it from corroding. Because this looks ugly. I mean, it's not bad, but it's really ugly. Comparing to mine, which doesn't have a speck of rust anywhere, this is ugly. So I think that's a good plan for now. That upper control arm ball joint is shot, the boot is torn. That will be failure on the inspection. I'm not even going to check if there's any play in the suspension. I know that pretty much all of it is original, so everything is going to be overhauled. The exhaust, original in stock, that looks good. I'm of the opinion that every single E39 M5 should have an aftermarket exhaust, because with the original one, it's really, really quiet. But that being said, nowadays, it is actually pretty rare to see E39 M5 with the original exhaust. So I think it's gonna stay. I'm not gonna change it. It is a one piece all the way up to the front. So it is really painful to remove it. But I'm not gonna cut it. I'm gonna leave it like that. So all in all, not too bad. I mean, I did see most of this stuff in Sweden when I was looking underneath, but I'm pretty happy. I mean, it's not a rust bucket, that's for sure. Just this surface corrosion that needs to be treated. And these boxes here contain my spare set of Style 65 rims, the original E39 M5 rims. I picked them up about a year ago in really horrible shape, but they're original rims and they were 600 euros. So I grabbed them. And now I'm gonna ship them to Poland to Super Felgi so they can refinish them to original chrome shadow. Once they come back, we're gonna put Falcon tires on it, and those are gonna go on this car, because these rims are also pretty curved up and they need to be refinished. Oh, and you can also see that the chassis legs look absolutely perfect on both sides. No signs of accidents. Gonna replace the fan clutch as part of preventative maintenance. That's really important because when these go bad, they explode and they take a bunch of stuff in front of the engine, the fan shroud, and also your hood. So definitely want to do that. We're going to refurbish the headlights. The adjusters are broken and the covers are really pitted. So I'm going to get the new ones, new projectors. There's going to be video on that, and these are going to turn out brand new. Let's start it, let it warm up, and then we're going to drain the oil. We're going to also replace the timing chain tensioner. I've done that on my car. It's a good part of preventative maintenance. And once we drop the oil pan, we can also see if there's any signs of the timing chain guides going bad. This is going to be the key with this car, as it was with mine, preventative maintenance. And these engines are really, really strong. They can go for so many kilometers without major issues. Rod bearings, these cars do not have issues with rod bearings as E60 M5 does. On the E60, you have to replace it every I don't know, 60, 80,000 kilometers. And there's also small Vanos filter inside here. It's not on real OEM, but when you remove this thing, you'll find it inside. And the one from the E39 M5 fits. That should do it. Turn it off. First, remove the oil filter so that whatever oil is on the oil filter housing can drain into the pan. These bushings, oh yeah, one of them is torn. So I need to remember to order that. We'll inspect the filter in a bit. Let's put the cap back, pull the dipstick a little bit out, like that. First, we're gonna clean this up and then drain the oil. All right. Oh yeah, 100% stripped. Unplug the oil level sensor. I said unplug the oil level sensor. There we are. What's the torque on these? That's 9.9 Newton meters. Now that I got the feel for it, let's go ahead and remove them. There you go. Hello. A little bit varnishy, but not too bad. Now we're gonna drop the old pickup screen. Sometimes you find fun stuff in there, like timing chain guides. So let's see what we see. Perfect. There goes my t-shirt. So this happened all the way down to my shorts. Ruined my really lovely t-shirt. That's not coming off. And the good thing is, I don't have a spare one. Well, it's time to go commando. Things are going well so far. One t-shirt down, and now I'm wearing my hoodie without the t-shirt underneath, which feels wrong, but that is the only thing that I have at the moment. So the oil filter, nothing interesting in it. No metal shavings or anything like that. A little bit of sludge, but that is normal given that the oil is really old, but no metal shavings, which is great. The oil pan, let's see. Just sludgy. And nothing else. No plastic or anything that doesn't belong in the oil pan. But now the prize is this old pickup. Oh no. That is a piece of plastic there. Let's open it up. All right. There is some plastic stuff in there. So this is what we found in the old pickup screen. Now it's time to consult a repair manual and panic. I'm kidding, people. Don't panic. It's just plastic. That's all. These are signs of timing chain guides starting to disintegrate. This is, I believe, from the top of the U guide. You can see how this side here is flat and the one where it broke off is jagged. And this notch here, that's where the timing chain kind of rides through in the middle. And this is not that unexpected. I'm not even upset. I mean, the car is 20 years old, 220,000 kilometers. It hasn't been used for the last 9 years. It kind of comes with it. There is nothing worse than when the car sits. And there's a common misconception and over-exaggeration, especially on the M62 TU engine, the one in the 540i and 740i, that this is engine design flaw. It is not engine design flaw. It is a serviceable item. On your normal cars, well, on a majority of the cars, you have a rubber timing belt, which you have to replace every 5 years or every 60, 80, 100,000 kilometers, whatever the interval is. And on these cars, you have the timing chain, which you have to do once in 20, 25 years. And it's gonna last you, if you do proper maintenance, fresh oil changes, and you keep up with the maintenance, and you also replace the timing chain tensioner, that can also contribute to prolonging the life of your guides. I've already done it on my car. And if you do all of that, the timing chain guides can last for a very, very long time, even over 200,000 miles. So this means we're gonna have to do the timing chain and the timing chain guides. I mean, this isn't so alarming that you have to stop driving car immediately, but they're gonna let go at one point completely, because when the plastic starts falling apart, it's gonna fall apart. The good thing is it can be done with the engine in the car. And comparing to the rubber timing belt, when that snaps, you're gonna bend some valves. With the timing chain, the worst case scenario usually is the engine starts rattling and it's not gonna do more harm than that. I mean, sometimes it can happen that it skips timing and then you're in a world of pain. But to be honest, I don't recall seeing an S62
with that big of an issue. Even on the M62, when the guides go, the engine is just rattling because the chain is slapping all over the place. You replace the timing chain and you're good to go. So it is a massive job though. The valve covers need to come out, vanos, front timing cover, water pump, crank pulley, all of that that's in the way. I've never done that job before, but I'm actually looking forward to it because I've been wanting to do that job for a while, and we're gonna learn together and do it on the channel. So that's gonna be a fun project. That's probably gonna be the first thing I'm gonna do on this car once we start working on it full steam. But first I need to finish all of the other projects and then we can start on that. Anyway, let's ignore that for now and proceed with fixing the oil pan drain plug. I always like to do this. Karate! I have a new one, that's why I did that. And these always go bad, so it's good to replace them preventatively, especially when you have the oil pan off. Hopefully you can see that the threads are completely stripped. So let me show you how we're gonna fix this. Time cert. As you can see, the situation escalated, thinking juice is gone. And this is how I was planning to fix this. Using a time cert. If you remember, I did the same thing on Project Marseille on stripped spark plug threads. This just goes on top of the bolt, you make new threads. It is a proper and really good repair. But the time cert that I ordered is M12 1.25 thread. And this one is 1.5. So it does not fit. I don't know how I missed that. And I just searched the entire Germany, everywhere I can think of, well, on Google, and I couldn't find anywhere time cert that's M12 1.5. So I have my Helicoil repair thread kit, and as you can see it goes M10 1.5, and then we come to M12 and it's 1.75. So even though it fits on the bolt, it's not the right one, it's too big, which means more delays. I just ordered Helicoil 1.5, that's gonna arrive in a couple of days and then we can fix this. In the meantime, I'm gonna put this on the engine so that the bottom of the engine is not exposed to the elements, and then in a couple of days when the helicoil thing comes in, then we're gonna fix it. I absolutely hate waiting on parts. It's just, it messes up everything. This video should have been done by tomorrow, but it's not going to be. I'm back. Fresh t-shirt and helicoil plus the correct thread repair kit. We have 1.5, where's the bolt? There it is, 1.5 helicoil thread. Yes, look at that. So now we're gonna do this repair. It would be more ideal if I had the time cert, because that seems easier and more appropriate, but this will do as well just fine, and it's also going to be a permanent repair. All right, first thing we need to do is to drill a hole, remove the old threads. So you want to do that as straight as possible. There we are. All right, so now we're gonna tap the threads. Important to start even. Also gonna add a bit of oil. That's it, it's gone through. There we are. Make sure it goes with hand. You can see beautiful looking threads there. So I'm gonna use high strength thread locker on the threads. That way the helicoil can lock in place. That's too much. Put the helicoil on the tool and start it. Perfect. There we are. This is how it looks on the back side. Now we need to break that tang off. That's it. Wipe off the excess. Now we need to wait for the thread locker to do its thing. But this is why the time cert would have been better, because the time cert has a lip on the end, so when you screw it in, it cannot go any further and it's just gonna stay in place. So let's wait for thread locker to do its magic. Just a little bit. This is gonna end up in the vet blasting cabinet anyway when we do the timing chain, guys. Need to clean off the surface.
Nice.
So I was planning to make a cut in the threads there like it was originally, so that whatever tiny amount of oil is left there can drain. But I don't have a proper tool to do that right now, so I'm gonna leave it be. I don't want to risk damaging the threads. And then I'm gonna fix that when we do the timing chain, because all of this needs to come out anyway. Now I'm just gonna clean it up, be ready to mount the gasket and put it back on the car. Perfect. Spot on. Spot on. Time for some fresh oil. I think I have some leftovers. Brand new gasket. Do we do zip ties? I mean, why not? Say one here. All right, the old pickup going back. By the way, this is how I stored oil pan bolts. I made a template out of the new gasket and just poked a hole wherever each bolt goes. Normally I will use thread sealer on these bolts as well. Thread sealer, not thread locker. But since we're doing the timing chain, all of this is gonna come out again. So I'm not doing that. Cut the zip ties. So I'm just gonna slowly tighten them all, and then I'm gonna use the torque wrench. Let's torque. Cool, let's do the drain plug. Perfection. And now the new oil level sensor. We're using OEM Hella sensor. Bit of oil on the O-ring. You know what? I'm not gonna use the torque wrench here. That's tight. That's tight. That's tight enough as well. Perfect. And with that, we can go up top and replenish it with oil. Give it a good slap. Lubricate the O-ring. Pre-lube the oil filter. And I'm going with 5W50. I'm running the same stuff on my other E39 M5. And it's been loving it so far. Dump the oil filter in. By the way, I think this engine didn't have regular oil changes because it looks very sludgy inside. Mine is much, much cleaner when I look through the oil cap. I mean, that won't tell you anything, but still. Even from the bottom, it looked a bit sludgy and varnishy. And that too will contribute to destroying your timing chain guides. Perfect. Gonna do cabin air filters as well. Those are really bad. Look at that. Yeah, break out the vacuum cleaner. New filters. Now the engine air filters. (2011). Full of sand. Beautiful. Sounds good. Sounds great. Like S62 should. All right, shut it down. Now let's check if the oil pan drain plug is leaking. And everything looks nice and dry around the drain plug as well, and around the gasket surface as well. That's a job well done. Now I'm gonna put back the plastic protection, and then we're gonna scan the car for codes. And we're gonna use PASoft to quickly scan for codes. Ignition on. 226,000 kilometers. And no, I'm sorry, I cannot tell you where to buy this tool. I set this up many, many years ago, and I used BMW forums. There's everything on there, all of the instructions, how to set this up, how to use it, and so on. So if you want a tool like this, Google hard. The rest is irrelevant. So let's start with the engine computer. Servotronic, no road speed signal, internal file. So the yellow codes, those are shadow codes, not present currently. And the red codes are the ones that are present. Let's clear all of those. Yeah, these you cannot clear. So these three we're gonna have to troubleshoot. A lot of these codes are just old from the car sitting. ABS. In a situation like this, you just need to clear all of the codes, drive the car and see what comes back. So nothing too bad, just gonna have to troubleshoot this, assuming electrical issue with the DSC pump or whatever that's causing the Servotronic not to work and having heavy steering and also the traction control lights. Take it outside. Let's talk about the exterior. I did look inside this bumper and this is the original one. It's not a replica. It's just not installed properly. So there's a horrific gap here. Small crack here, and I think that's crack in paint, and there's another crack on the bottom. So I have to talk to a body shop, see if that's repairable or needs to be replaced. But that is the only body part that needs to be repainted. The rest of the paint is in great shape, needs a good polish. Also, I'm gonna have a PDR guy come out, remove a couple of dents that you can find here and there. It's gonna get brand new rims. Well, we're finished. Headlights, we're gonna refurbish that completely. Bumper trim and door trim, I'm gonna either replace that or just respray it. And then it's gonna look nice because it doesn't have any scratches. Windshield looks really good, no chipping. This rubber seal is in good condition. That spot of rust needs to be taken care of. Then we have oxidation on the shadow line trim. Replace or repaint, we'll see. Rear bumper is in good shape, but it is not installed properly. There's a huge gap here and it's way too loose. So that needs to be fixed. Oh yeah, small scratch on the taillight. I think I'm gonna replace that one or try to polish it. This side, everything looks good. Couple of dents as well. PDR will take care of that. And that's as far as the exterior goes. Let's move on to the interior. This door rubber seal needs to be replaced. And these are crazy money, brand new. So I'm gonna be hunting for a used one. Also, I'm hunting for a different trim. I don't like this one. It's way too common and it just doesn't work for me. Originally, this car had the wood trim, and as much as I love the wood trim, with blue, that just doesn't work. So I'm trying to find lifestyle one or technical graffiti. I would love to get Titan line. I believe that's what they call it. That's what I have in my M5 and that's my favorite one, but it's just impossible to find one. And when you do, they're ridiculous money. The seats, blue inserts. As I said, not the biggest fan, but in this combo, it does work. And the leather is in great shape. Just needs a good cleaning and perhaps a bit of dye here, but in really, really good shape. Steering wheel, that's pretty worn. Needs to be rewrapped, and I noticed a scuff here, and I don't remember that when I was seeing this car in Sweden, so I think that happened in transport. Doesn't matter, that needs to be refreshed anyway. Gonna replace the shift knob. Not sure if that's the original one. It doesn't look like it, but maybe I just forgot. It could be. So we're gonna go with the ZHP one, which is a bit shorter and also illuminated on the top. And other than that, the interior doesn't really need anything else. It's in really, really good shape. Oh yeah, pixels in the dash, we're gonna take care of that. The rear view mirror, that's in great shape. Headliner in great shape. The back seats, also in great shape. We're gonna respray the rear shelf back to black once we do the rear shocks, because right now it's a bit blurple. So that's about it. More or less what this car needs and how this restoration series is going to proceed. Oh no! Which one am I going to take home? What a predicament. Actually, I know it's this one. That one is not broken. This one needs servicing, a lot of it. Actually more than I initially thought, but all is good. I'm looking forward to doing the timing chain job. Never done that before, but it's something that we're going to learn together. And as my father always says, when life gives you lemons, make blueberry muffins. He never said that. Don't think he ever had a blueberry muffin in his life. Anyway, getting off topic. This one I had for over 3 years and over 30,000 kilometers. I bought it in Rome, Italy, and it's completely rust-free, like really, really rust-free and beautiful from the bottom. And I don't drive it in winter anymore because I want to keep it that way. And I've done a lot of servicing on this car when I initially bought it.
mainly preventative maintenance, complete suspension, service of the engine. The internals, all of that is original, timing chain guides, rod bearings, didn't touch any of that. Vanos as well. And I haven't had any issues with this car. It has never given me check engine light, any warnings on the dash. It just works. And I drive it like I stole it, really fast on the Autobahn. That's what these cars are made for. So we're gonna apply a lot of knowledge from this one to this one. I'm really, really excited for this project, and I'm also really grateful to Michael and his lovely family for selling me this car, because this is going to be an amazing project. And I can't wait to show you all of the little tricks that I learned on that car. For example, like upgrading headlights. That's one of my favorite mods on the E39, because from the factory they have pretty crappy projectors, so when you do proper bi-xenon projectors, the light output at night just completely transforms. So small stuff like that I'm really, really looking forward to it. In the next episode, we're gonna start by troubleshooting the DSC system, whatever that electrical code is, and servotronic, and then we're gonna dig into the engine, take it apart and see what we find. But please do not expect another episode on this project soon, because first I need to finish Project Cars Rue and get it sold so I can free up some budget. And I'm also waiting on lifts, which are supposed to come, I think, end of August. So then I'm gonna have 3 lifts inside, so I can work at 3 projects at the same time. So when I'm waiting on parts for this one, I can move on to the next one, and you get the idea. I'm also going to be working on this project alongside with E31 and E21, kind of simultaneously. So I'm gonna mix it up and have different content here and there. So I know a lot of you like specific cars, but I'm gonna try and do my best. But I work alone, so you're gonna have to have patience. I cannot release videos every week. Sometimes the work alone takes 3 weeks, and then you have to edit and all of that good stuff. So patience would be really much appreciated. That should do it for this episode, I think. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video, and do subscribe. Lately, a lot of you have been watching videos but not clicking that subscribe button. So do me a solid, click on it, doesn't cost a thing. There's also a bell thing next to it. If you click on that, you will get a notification when the new video is uploaded on your mobile device or whatever else that you're watching this video on. Also merchandise, that's in the description, you can find it somewhere there. Thank you for following along. I hope you're enjoying the kingdom of broken Beamers. Well, not all of them are broken, but for the most part they are. Best part of it, 2 more might be coming. I didn't even look for them. They were offered to me, and I'm only human. I'm really, really tempted about one. Antonio, if you're watching this video, I'm really tempted. Even though I shouldn't be, because it's probably one of the worst cars that BMW ever made. But, you know, I like a good challenge, plus it helps that I'm an idiot with no self-control. I'm gonna leave it there. Adios, boys and girls, adios. When you click on that, you get notifications when I post new videos. You get notifications when I post new videos. You get notifications when I post new videos. Am I in bug mode? You get notifications when you post. You get